Since it first aired in 2005, Deadliest Catch has been a huge ratings winner for the Discovery Channel. 2023's Season 19 reeled in an average of 2.2 million viewers, increasing 7% over the previous year. The series has proved so popular that it even spawned two spin-offs, Deadliest Catch Dungeon Cove and Deadliest Catch Bloodline. Deadliest Catch documents the day-to-day trials and tribulations of working in the Alaskan commercial fishing industry. Life at sea is truly tumultuous and challenging, and it attracts a variety of larger-than-life characters. The vessel's crew members constantly face new adversities and perils, with literal life-or-death situations as common as the violent storms they're forced to battle while hauling in their crab catches. With fishermen working long hours and facing almost constant danger, Deadliest Catch often shows treacherous events that leave viewers breathless. However, the cast of the reality series have had their own private struggles, and many of them have gone through some truly tragic incidents that fans might not know about. From premature deaths, to overdoses, to disappearances, to murder, let's take a look at the tragedy of Deadliest Catch that keeps getting sadder and sadder. Blake Painter died of a suspected drug overdose. Blake Painter first appeared on Deadliest Catch in 2006, initially working as an engineer before taking command of the FV Maverick. He was featured in 10 episodes during the show's second and third seasons, but eventually left the series, although he continued to work as a crab fisherman. Tragically, Painter was found dead at his home in May 2018 at just 38 years old. Friends, concerned after not hearing from him for several days, contacted authorities who discovered his lifeless body. Although there were no suspicious circumstances surrounding his death, reports indicated that Painter had been arrested a few months earlier for allegedly using heroin while driving. Several drugs were found in the room where Painter's body was discovered, and while no official cause of death was provided, it was suspected that he died from an overdose. Mallen Reiss had a fatal heart attack. Mallen Reiss first appeared in the 2012 episode The Hook as a greenhorn aboard the fishing vessel Seabrook and quickly became a regular on Deadliest Catch during its 8th season. Over time, he was promoted to deckhand on the Seabrook before transferring to the Cape Caution in 2014. After a hiatus of over 5 years, Reiss returned as a deckhand on the Summer Bay in 2020 for 3 episodes. Tragically, those episodes would be Reiss's final appearance on the show. In August 2020, he passed away at the age of 38 from a heart attack. According to his family, Reiss had no pre-existing health conditions, making the heart attack a complete shock. He is survived by his wife and 4 children, who later revealed that his ashes would be scattered at sea. In his honor, a later episode of Deadliest Catch was dedicated to his memory. On Sunday night, our family together made the hardest choice we've ever made, and that was to remove him from life support. Mallen's body was tired and had put up an amazing fight. He was the strongest guy we knew, read a heartfelt post from his family on Facebook. He was surrounded by so much love. Jake Anderson's sister and father both died while he was on the show. Among the many crab fishermen who have starred in Deadliest Catch, Jake Anderson stands out as one of the longest-serving cast members. He made his debut on the show in 2007 and has appeared in over 200 episodes, eventually rising to the rank of captain of the saga. However, Anderson's journey on the show has been far from easy, marked by personal tragedies that unfolded while he was on screen. The first tragedy struck during Season 5 in an episode recorded in February 2009, when Anderson received the devastating news that his sister, Chelsea Dawn Anderson, had passed away unexpectedly. Chelsea had suffered from juvenile rheumatoid arthritis since childhood and succumbed to complications from pneumonia, exacerbated by her chronic condition. Just a year later, in a Season 6 episode, Anderson faced another heart-wrenching moment. The crew informed him that his father, Keith Anderson, had gone missing. Keith's truck was discovered abandoned in a remote area of Washington, and he was presumed dead due to the harsh, freezing conditions. It wasn't until 2 years later that a hiker stumbled upon human remains, later identified as those of Keith Anderson. Jake Harris's heroin addiction and prison stint. Jake Harris faced significant struggles following his father's death, turning to drugs and alcohol to cope with his grief. His troubles began in May 2010 when he was arrested for DUI and hit and run in Seattle. Harris was jailed but later released on $20,000 bail. A police spokesman stated, Harris failed a field sobriety test and refused to take a toxicological test. After further investigation, it was found that he was involved in a hit-and-run with another occupied vehicle earlier in the evening. In January 2019, Harris found himself in trouble with the law again after an altercation in Bayview State Park, Washington, led to a police chase. When officers finally stopped his motorhome, they observed that Harris was argumentative, had bloodshot eyes, pinpoint pupils, and was speaking very rapidly. By August 2019, Harris was sentenced to 18 months in jail after pleading guilty to DUI and possession with intent to manufacture or deliver heroin. Harris's legal woes continued in May 2021 when he was arrested for DUI once more. He was booked into county jail for felony DUI, misdemeanor driving on a revoked license, and misdemeanor failure to have an ignition interlock installed. He was released a few days later on $50,000 bail. "My brother's been going through issues," Josh Harris told HuffPost. "He's lost in drugs still. Jake's got to take care of his own stuff right now, deal with his demons." Several captains have seen their ships sink with tragic consequences. One of the greatest dangers faced by fishermen is the risk of their vessel sustaining damage. This not only jeopardizes their own lives, but also poses the grim possibility of the ship sinking along with all its gear. It's a nightmare scenario for any captain, something they dread witnessing firsthand. Tragically, Deadliest Catch has depicted the sinking of several fishing vessels, both on-screen and off, often with devastating outcomes for those involved. For instance, the FV Big Valley met its demise in 2005, claiming the lives of 5 out of 6 crew members. Similarly, the disappearance of the FV Destination sparked a widespread search effort, depicted in Deadliest Catch, with the Coast Guard and nearby boats racing to locate the sunken vessel. Other ships featured on Deadliest Catch that have met a similar fate include the Virginia Boys, which sank with 3 crew members on board, the FV Alaska Ranger, and the Katmai. Among these tragic incidents, the sinking of the FV Scandies Rose in 2019 stands out as one of the most widely publicized. This crab fishing vessel's demise resulted in the loss of 5 out of 7 crew members aboard, highlighting the inherent dangers of the industry. Jake Anderson battled addiction and was once homeless. As one of the regulars of the series, much of Jake Anderson's life has been showcased on Deadliest Catch. He started as a greenhorn on the Northwestern, gradually working his way up to deckhand and eventually deck boss. He also took on roles as an engineer and finally became the captain of his own vessel, the Saga. However, Anderson's journey hasn't been without its challenges, as he has openly discussed in interviews and detailed in his recent book. Before joining the world of crab fishing on Deadliest Catch, Anderson's life was on a very different path and nearly ended in tragedy. In his debut book, Relapse, Anderson candidly spoke about his battles with addiction. After an injury ended his professional skateboarding career and wiped out almost all of his sponsorship money, he struggled with drug and alcohol problems. During this dark period, he experienced homelessness, unable to afford rent due to unemployment and addiction issues. Having reached rock bottom, Anderson decided to share his personal stories not for sympathy, but to inspire others facing similar struggles. Justin Tennison shockingly died at a young age. The somber chapter in the Deadliest Catch saga continued with the untimely passing of Justin Tennison. As a crew member aboard the Time Bandit, Tennison joined the ranks of the show's earliest cast members to tragically depart, following the sudden death of Phil Harris just a year prior. Adding to the sorrow, Eddie Uwakulani, Tennison's second cousin, also featured on Deadliest Catch. Uwakulani recounted that a manager had discovered Tennison non-responsive on the bed, not breathing, in his hotel room. Law enforcement officials disclosed finding a small amount of marijuana and several bottles of alcohol in the Homer, Alaska, Best Western Bidarka Inn where Tennison had been staying. They surmised that he had been socializing with friends the evening before his demise. At only 34 years old, Tennison had returned to land just 4 days before his passing. His death was reportedly attributed to complications from sleep apnea. The Time Bandit crew announced the heartbreaking news on their website, stating, "It is with great sadness that the Time Bandit family announces the death of crew member Justin Tennison. Justin died peacefully in his sleep." Uwakulani, instrumental in Tennison's employment with Time Bandit, shared that Tennison's final wishes were to be cremated and laid to rest in the water for one last journey. He loved Alaska. He loved hunting and fishing and everything about it. He loved his kids tremendously, Uwakulani reflected, honoring his cousin's deep connection to the Alaskan way of life. One cast member was wanted for armed robbery. Known in Deadliest Catch as Josh Warner, but formally identified as Joshua Tell Warner, this fisherman entered the series in 2009 as a greenhorn aboard the crab fishing vessel Wizard. His role involved working alongside Captain Keith Colburn and Relief Captain Monty Colburn. Throughout Season 5, he appeared in a total of 9 episodes, with his final on-screen credit featured in the episode titled Day of Reckoning. Warner's brief tenure on the show was cut short due to his involvement in criminal activities. In addition to his job as a crab fisherman, Warner was leading a double life, engaging in bank robberies while on land. His criminal endeavors predated his stint on Deadliest Catch, making his decision to participate in the series a risky one, given his status as a wanted individual. Eventually, he was apprehended and sentenced to a 9-year prison term. Joe McMahon's murder. Joe McMahon served as an associate producer on Deadliest Catch for a span of 9 months in 2013. Tragically, at the young age of 24, McMahon met his untimely demise in the early hours of July 24, 2015. The fatal incident occurred merely a driveway's distance away from his family home in Pasadena, California, just moments after he had left the house. Authorities responded to the scene following reports of gunshots from concerned neighbors around 2 a.m., only to find McMahon lying on the street with multiple gunshot wounds, succumbing to his injuries at the scene. Discovery, expressing deep sorrow over the loss, conveyed their condolences to McMahon's family and all who knew and worked with him. Despite initial speculation, investigators found no evidence linking the murder to drugs or gang-related activities. Later that day, the suspected shooter, 24-year-old Brandon Rafipour, was found dead in West L.A., having died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. While it was revealed that the two men were acquainted, authorities did not disclose a motive for the tragic incident. However, they suggested that McMahon may have been targeted due to past interactions, as it was reported that he had allegedly bullied Rafipour during their time together in high school. Series regular Nick McGlashan was found dead. Nick McGlashan quickly became a beloved figure among viewers of Deadliest Catch after his debut appearance in 2013. Starting as a deckhand on the Cape Caution, he eventually transitioned to the Summer Bay, where he served as a deck boss from 2017 until his final appearance in the 2021 episode Tangled Web as part of Season 17. Throughout his tenure on the show, McGlashan featured in a total of 85 episodes, leaving a lasting impression on fans. Tragically, at the age of 33, McGlashan was found deceased in December 2020. Reports from Variety revealed that the fisherman had battled addiction for many years, grappling with alcohol and substance abuse since his youth. Despite his struggles, McGlashan had managed to maintain sobriety for a period leading up to his passing, prompted by the ultimatum of losing his fishing job if he did not address his issues. Subsequent findings from his autopsy indicated that McGlashan had succumbed to an overdose, with a combination of drugs detected in his system. David Zilinsky saw his career end due to a firework mishap. David Zilinsky may not be a household name even among dedicated viewers of Deadliest Catch, and that's understandable given his brief stint on the show. He made his debut in the 2013 episode Goodbye Jake as a deckhand aboard the Time Bandit, and also made a cameo in Kicking Off with a Bang during the same season. However, these two episodes marked the extent of Zilinsky's appearances, as a serious hand injury abruptly halted his career as a crab fisherman. Court documents filed in Seattle shed light on Zilinsky's unfortunate accident, revealing that his hand sustained severe injuries due to a firework explosion while he was handling it. The explosive device bore the Time Bandit logo, and Zilinsky alleged that he had been instructed by the Hillstrand brothers to aim the firework at another fishing vessel as part of a customary firework display. Following a protracted legal battle, Zilinsky was awarded over $1 million in damages by a jury in 2017. Tony Lara's heart attack. On August 8, 2015, Tony Lara was found unresponsive in his bed at a private residence in Sturgis, South Dakota. The captain of the Cornelia Marie had passed away peacefully in his sleep at the age of 50. Lara was in town to participate in the renowned Sturgis motorcycle rally at the time of his unexpected death. During the autopsy, pathologists discovered scar tissue on Lara's heart, consistent with the aftermath of a heart attack. While awaiting the toxicology report to confirm the absence of drugs or alcohol, the Meade County Sheriff informed People magazine of the ongoing investigation. Following Lara's passing, the Deadliest Catch team took to their Facebook page to express their condolences. They bid farewell to Captain Tony Lara, acknowledging his presence as a cherished member of the Catch family and noting his watchful eye over the Cornelia Marie and the rest of the Bering Sea Fleet from heaven. Lara had appeared in 6 episodes of the show after assuming command of Cornelia Marie in 2010, following the death of Phil Harris at age 53. In a heartfelt tribute, Josh Harris, Phil's son and the current captain of the vessel, reflected on Lara's impact. He credited Lara for his unwavering support, valuable guidance, and educational contributions to the Harris family. Lara's presence, according to Harris, had left an indelible mark, making them all better in some way. Phil Harris had a stroke on screen and later died. Captain Phil Harris remains one of the most cherished figures in the Deadliest Catch series, earning adoration from fans for his extensive experience in the fishing industry and his role as the beloved captain of the Cornelia Marie. From his early days on the show, Harris captivated viewers with his expertise and charisma, quickly becoming a fan favorite. Despite his popularity, Harris faced numerous challenges during his time on the series. Viewers witnessed the complexities of his family relationships and the physical risks inherent in his profession, notably highlighted by a severe injury in 2008. During a tumultuous storm, Harris fell and suffered broken ribs, leading to complications such as coughing up blood and a pulmonary embolism, sidelining him for a significant portion of the year. Tragically, the hardships for Harris continued in 2010 when he was discovered unresponsive in his cabin during filming. Rushed to the hospital for emergency treatment, it was determined that he had experienced a debilitating stroke requiring immediate surgery. Despite initial signs of improvement, Harris ultimately succumbed to a fatal intracranial hemorrhage, leaving behind a profound legacy. In honor of his contributions to the show and the deep impact he had on those around him, the Deadliest Catch cast and crew paid tribute to Captain Phil Harris with a heartfelt memorial service and dedicated an episode to celebrate his life and legacy. Jake Harris was robbed, beaten, and left for dead. Jake Harris exemplifies the ongoing tragedy of Deadliest Catch, marked by personal loss, struggles with addiction, and encounters with the law that culminated in a harrowing incident. Following the untimely death of his father, Phil, Jake faced his own battles with alcohol and addiction, alongside recurring legal entanglements, ultimately leading to a period of incarceration. However, the most devastating blow struck in November 2016 when Jake fell victim to a violent assault, leaving him robbed, battered, and abandoned on the roadside. After a brutal altercation in Everett, Washington, Jake was rushed to the ICU, prompting a statement from the City of Everett PD detailing the attack. According to reports, Jake had accepted a ride home from a man and his girlfriend, only for the situation to escalate into a vicious assault by the male passenger. The assailant inflicted severe injuries, leaving Jake unconscious and robbed of his wallet and $2,400 in cash before callously abandoning him at the roadside. Sharing the extent of Jake's injuries in a heartfelt Facebook video, his brother Josh Harris recounted the brutal assault that left Jake with a fractured skull extending from his forehead to the back of his head. The assailants, Amanda Ritter and Jorel Fultz, were later apprehended and faced serious charges, including first-degree felony robbery and additional assault charges for Fultz. Josh Harris has been accused of sexual misconduct. The Harris family has encountered numerous challenges and heartbreaking moments throughout their journey on Deadliest Catch. Phil Harris, a beloved figure among fans, suffered a stroke that sadly led to his passing. Meanwhile, his son, Jake Harris, has faced a series of hardships in both his personal and professional life. Even Josh Harris, Jake's older brother, has found himself embroiled in controversy in recent years. Initially introduced to viewers during the 2007 season as a greenhorn on the Cornelia Marie, Josh Harris worked his way up to become a deckhand and eventually took on the role of captain after his father's passing. With over 180 appearances on the show, he became one of its most recognizable figures. However, the Discovery Channel severed ties with Harris following troubling accusations that he had committed sexual misconduct 2 decades ago. This led to his arrest and eventual plea deal, resulting in a 9-month jail sentence. Bill Wichrowski was diagnosed with prostate cancer. The crew of Deadliest Catch confronts perilous conditions as part of their everyday work. However, this serves as a reminder that despite their rugged lifestyle, captains and crew members are just as susceptible to dangers as those with safer occupations and lifestyles. At the end of Season 19, Wild Bill Wichrowski, the captain of the FV Summer Bay and a long-standing member of Deadliest Catch since Season 6, received distressing news. He has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. His doctor informed him that while the cancer is aggressive and poses a threat to his life, it can be treated with chemotherapy and hormone therapy. Prostate cancer is a prevalent disease, with over 288,000 new cases reported annually in the United States alone, resulting in nearly 35,000 deaths each year, as per the American Cancer Society. At present, Wichrowski is still alive, and judging by his Facebook posts from November 2023, he seems to be maintaining relatively good spirits. Many cast members have suffered serious injuries. Crab fishing, as depicted in Deadliest Catch, entails considerable risk, often putting the crew members' lives in jeopardy. Despite efforts to prioritize safety, injuries are inevitable in such hazardous conditions. Over the course of more than 300 episodes of the reality series, there have been numerous harrowing incidents resulting in serious wounds for fishermen. One of the most severe injuries occurred during the Season 15 finale, involving Corey Rhodes. His leg was severely mangled when a 1,000-pound crab pot fell and crushed it, fracturing both the fibula and tibia. Due to the severity of the injury, Rhodes had to be airlifted to the hospital by the Coast Guard. Likewise, Roger Schlosstein experienced 2 unfortunate incidents while on Deadliest Catch. In the first, he crushed his hand against a rail, and in the second, a loose crab pot struck his back while he was working at a sorting table. Another notable injury involved Francis Katungan, who was pinned against a railing by a large piece of steel after a wave dislodged crab pots on the side of the Patricia Lee. The situation was dire enough that producer Todd Stanley had to administer first aid until the ship could reach a Coast Guard helicopter for assistance. And that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. As always, before you go, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel to support us. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.